Back again, Midconvo episode 5. I think 5. Yeah. Who would have thought that I was going to start recording is it really a vlog? Is it a vlog? Cuz it's not like David Dobrik where it's like funny and live and stuff. Um but it is a video and I'm talking like a blog. The way I talk in these is I feel like the way I write and the way I write blogs is like exactly the way I talk, just like a little bit cleaned up and like some of the fat trimmed. And I don't say like every 2 seconds. Um, but yeah, I'm having quite a week. Last Wednesday, a week ago today, I celebrated 9 years clean. And then 2 days later, we released Harmony, which is an album we worked on for. I was on the phone with Khan 2 nights ago, and honestly, it's an album we worked on in the background since we started this band. Like probably 5 years ago. I think we did No Age like 3 years ago, something in August, 3 years ago. Yeah, with Taylor. Yeah, as soon as maybe 2 years ago, but I think we wrote it. I was working at the shipyard when we wrote it, so that was a year before that. So yeah, No Age is 3 years old. Wrote Domestic Cafe around that time. Wrote I think Broad Strokes around that time. But yeah, it's so weird because we worked on it for so long, and for so long, everybody kind of just perceived us as like, whatever Grace Session is, and which is great. We love Grace Session. It was great, and that was an experience, and it's a very warm, special album to us, or EP, whatever it is. And but we were writing this stuff, and we were like, no, this is how we want people to think of us, and it's hard because for the longest time, I think we really. I think every week we used to just be kind of back and forth between like, yo, let's just throw this album on the internet, like let's get it out there because this is like the stuff we want to play live. This is the stuff that we want to represent us, like this is who we are right now, and it's more accurate to our personalities and our musical tastes and it's just weird. I think we've always been in this position where we're waiting on all these moving parts of like having to go to studios and I've been in bands for I've been in bands for like 17 years, and every band, every album, it's always the same. You're always like waiting, and it takes we're still we're a self-funded band, and it takes time to find a place that you can record an album that's like affordable but high enough quality that's like up to par with what you want to do. And and then it's like a whole process of booking it, then tracking it, and then waiting for the mixes, the masters, do the artwork. Then you got to figure out like a way to promote it. So it's really a process, and it takes a long time, and at the end of the day, all I ever wanted to do was just share the songs, and it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. There's a lot of people that reach out. I'll give you a couple of examples of ways it's like hard to connect with people that do want to hear our stuff, because of the way algorithms and all this. And I don't want to sound like some victim because of like, oh my God, the algorithms or something. I'm not whining here. But because of the way the internet is, we have people that'll like, that have followed us for years, and they just never see our stuff, and and then they'll go looking for our stuff, and they'll be like, I'll get a message like, yo, do you guys have a merch site? And I'll be like, dude, we post the merch site link, I don't even know how many times a day. It'll be someone that's been following us since day one, and I'll be like, that, like, stuff like that. I don't blame them. I don't think that like it was any shortness on their part where they could where they couldn't find the link or something. It's like, no, we obviously didn't make it available enough. So like a couple weeks ago, we really, I don't know, I got this big burst of motivation, and I was just like, I'm just gonna make us as visible as possible. I want all my friends to hear this album. I want anybody that supports us to hear this album. So I'm just gonna post all the time, and like my very, I'm like 30, so like I'm from that generation that like MySpace came out when I was probably like 13 or 12 or something, and people, it was like cool to be kind of resistant to like social media trends as they came about. And I've lost that a lot more and more the older I get now. I had a change of heart like a few years back, and I'm kind of like unwinding a lot of that resistance to like change and new things like this. Um, but I'm still not caught up to like innovative. Like I'm not up to the front line yet. I still, it takes me a minute to adopt certain things. But I recently adopted the fact that, yeah, you know what, social media is where it's at. That's where the world is. That's where everyone's eyes and ears are. And I need to I need to constantly just be creating things that call attention to these things that, that I think deserve attention called to them, So, lately we've just been brainstorming, a lot of me and Blake just brainstorming like, hey, how do we make this more visible? And, it's cool. We did like we released the album. We've been posting all these little videos and all this stuff, and it got a lot of attention. And you guys, I gotta say, because I'm getting to a point here. You guys blew that album the fuck up. It's yeah, you have no idea how hype we were. Like like 20,000 plays in the first like 12 hours it was out. Like it was. It's been cool. It's been cool as hell. Like we are not a signed band, and we don't let that hold us up anymore. It's fine if they if labels don't have interest in us, probably better off for us. Maybe, I don't know. I got friends that are on labels that love it. I have friends that are on labels that don't love it. As per us right now, what we have going, it's amazing. We get the support we need to keep doing what we're doing, and that's. Honestly, that's more than a lot of people get, and I've been really grateful this past week. We got to do a Zoom listening party with a chunk of our following. That's like our very intimate part of our following that like messages with us like constantly and all this stuff. And like afterward, we got in like we were chatting for a while, and it was a very open forum type Zoom. Like nobody was really muted. Like it was just. I don't know. Everybody was just like talking, and everybody in there was exchanging their information. We had about 50 people in there, and they were exchanging their information. Then they got on. We started a Discord server, and they're all in there like, the past few days it's just blowing up. They're just chatting it up, talking about everything, and it's cool. I always wanted this since day one of this band. I always wanted a way where it didn't have to be just me broadcasting things out, and then people just receiving those. Like I don't want that. It's not a two-way conversation. And I know I've gone on rants about this before in my blog, but I feel like now it just naturally happened. Like suddenly, like there was you guys seemed to want it, and we just opened it up, and there it is. And now we BS about things other than like some music video we're gonna put out or like some song or something. It's like I like the people that follow us. I like chatting with them. I like getting to know like just honestly, I just like expanding my palette and getting to know different people that are not from my background and not from my walk of life. And I don't know. I'm very curious. I'm a curious person. I want to know everything about everybody, But yeah, it's been a really cool week. Yeah, I just wanted to get on here and say like shout out to I don't want to do any name shout outs because if I forget one, it's gonna be like, oh my God, you forgot my name. And I'm gonna be thinking about it. I'm gonna be like, oh man, how did you forget Lexi? Like she's or like Danielle King. Like how'd you forget that name? Like, and I would forget one name and I'd be like, oh my God, like that person went, there's so many things that are I struggle with the word fans, but I'll say fans. They've been calling themselves fans. I'll say fans. I mean that in the highest esteemable way. But there's so many things that our fans do for us, and it's like it's not unappreciated, and we don't take that shit for granted ever. It's sick. It's a privilege, and we try to do the right thing with that privilege, and Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to hop on here and say hey. Just wanted to share a little gratitude. I don't have a big deep topic this week, you know. I will say just a couple notes of some things I'm working on. I definitely I want to do podcast interviews with our fans. We were talking about it in that Discord and in the like Twitter chat thing, and I was like, yeah, there's some really interesting people that I want to ask them questions. So I think yeah, we're gonna do that. Jen was telling me some way to set it up, so we'll do that. And then also I was also kind of prompted and people have mentioned the book thing. I did that Bliss to Come novelette, like the small, I think it was like 45, 50 pages. It was a small little thing. It's called Bliss to Come. It's on our website. It's just like I'm not gonna call it a book. Everybody's always like, Rob, you wrote a book. I'm like, I didn't write a book. I wrote like a thing. It's just really long-winded liner notes, basically, about Grace Session, and I think I'm gonna do the same thing for. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing for Harmony. I started it about 4 or 5 times, and I love the preface, but the as I started writing the first chapter, I'm telling you, it was too intense. Like, you know how I'm intense, but no, 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 no. It was like too intense, you know? And I was like, dude, it doesn't have to be all that. So I've had to walk away from it. And now I feel like I have a lot of clarity lately, and I know what I would write it about. And yeah, so that's and we got a video. Just to go full circle, we have a music video coming out Friday, and actually the reason I would like to actually mention that is our friend Cassidy, who shot the Joy Notes video and recently came on to start like helping us with like some video and photo content type stuff. Joy Notes was the first video that she edited, but here's the thing. We shot 2 videos right before we went into quarantine, right? And one of them was with my friend Austin and his partner, and we went out and we got all the footage, and that was for Domestic Cafe, and that was actually the first footage Cassidy ever shot, for a video. Joy Notes she ended up editing first because we wanted to release that first, but this was actually the first video she ever shot, so I'm excited to release it. I'm excited for her to get the pats on the back that she deserves and stuff. And, yeah, I don't know. I'll see you probably, who knows? I don't know. I'll probably be talking to you literally as this thing goes up on the internet. So, anyway, have a nice night, guys. Bye.